it's just something that you say to yourself, nah. It's like you go into that phase of denial when you first hear it. It's like, man, I really don't believe it. I can't believe there's no way that's right, because how can something that I've been accustomed to being involved with my entire life be inappropriate for me to be involved with. It rocks you, and then you hear that there also is a difference of opinion, and hearing something like that gives you the opposite effect. You start hoping again. So it's like you're in despair one moment, and then you hear that there's disagreement about if it's acceptable or not, and so you start to hope, and you're caught in between this struggle. I guess you get stuck in this space where it's like you really obviously want to go towards the side that says, no, it's acceptable. You really want that, even after hearing that it's you're not allowed to be involved with music. It's haram, and I guess what comes down to it for me is my intention, and my intention with doing this is to spread a good message, and inshallah, if people feel good about what we're doing and it helps to keep them grounded, like it's helping us stay grounded, then I say alhamdulillah, and that's really the best thing that I think can come out of it for me.
Dean, you've been quiet over there.
It's a tough question.
I guess you want me to say something. Okay, well, I'm not one to cut myself any shorts, so I've looked it up, I've studied it, I've asked people to make sure because it does affect you, because even your friends, to a degree, the people you hang around, a lot of your friends won't get it, why you're doing this, or they'll take jabs and things like that, and these are your homies, your people,
your brothers.
So yeah, I mean, and it's not to belittle you as much as to to try to get some sense of why you're doing it, but I think at this moment, two things. First of all, people don't understand the impact, the connection between something like, I'm just using hip-hop as an example, hip-hop and Islam. There's a big connection between hip-hop music and Islam. There's a very big connection that people haven't been able to, I don't know if they've been ip to figure it out or what, but maybe I'll do a study on it one day or something like that. Being a sociologist, I'll do a study on it or something. But there's a huge connection between hip-hop and transcending into becoming Muslim. As you said, there's a lot of hip-hop artists who are Muslim. So, I mean, and I don't know, just the culture lends to Islam in some way, shape, or form. I don't know exactly what, but it's a phenomenon that I haven't figured out yet. And then also, even Muslims have issues. So for us to be able to come up and, like I said, for me, this is all about discussion. If people are discussing about what we're saying, then I feel like that in some way helps.
Also dawah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
For those who don't know what that is, it's basically like spreading like the message of Islam, to say that.
Spreading info, giving people the 411 on what we're about.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, at some point, when are we gonna be able to take control of what people are saying about us?
True.
True.
So like taking back the power.
Yes, at some point there are myriads of people who are and leaders who are speaking for Islam. There's hijab bans, burqa bans. Women are oppressed. All Muslims are terrorists. Blah blah blah. All that type of stuff.
Muslim stereotypes.
Yeah, and at some point there's got to be somebody who says, not and doesn't come out and just say, okay, well, no, that's not us. But at some point, there's got to be somebody who takes control of what people are saying about us. Not just be able to say, okay, yeah, that's not us, but to be able to control what is being said about us.
You know what I always thought was kind of funny is that people have such a skewed view of Islam and of Muslims, and the reason why. Oftentimes seems to be that the only Muslims that these people have ever met were on a TV screen.
True. True.
But I did want to go back to the issue of where we fit in, how we influence or how our influences, the decisions about music are influencing us. I think that there are, given our day and age right now, given the kinds of things that kids are into these days, there are a lot of things, very destructive things that the youth can be getting into. And I feel like music is, if it is haram, if it is something that we're not supposed to be involved with, it is at least, I guess, a lesser evil compared to a lot of the things that, people could be getting involved with. And if we're at least keeping them away from the next worst thing, then we're doing okay.
I mean, like going back to like the similarities between like Islam and hip hop. I read this book this past summer. It's like the autobiography about this French artist. It's called. I mean, his name is Abdel Malik. He converted.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah, you heard of him, Abdel Malik. Yeah, and he's pretty much the entire book was like how he came up, like he struggled between staying on the path of Islam and doing what is love, which is writing song, writing poetry, and and music. And it's kind of like I saw a lot of similarities between him and I. He tried at one point like he grew up like in the inner city of East France, and his big brother was a rapper. So he was, he was kind of grew up, in that environment. So, and then like it was really tough for him. Like so, he used to like rob people, as a youngster, and until when he converted to Islam and he stopped all that. And then, when he learned about like how Islam, hip hop is, like from what the Imam told him that you can't be doing hip hop and be a Muslim. So he completely stopped the music part. And from there, like for a couple of weeks, it was okay. But then, from stealing, he went back to, selling drugs. So for him, it's kind of like music was like the thing that kept him, who he was. And I don't blame him at all. So because like I said, music is that thing that it can make music can change a lot of intentions. Music can change moods, and also music affect change people. So and alhamdulillah for him, was able to find that balance between doing what is love and also follow his religion like he's supposed to. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's definitely very insightful. We're gonna get back into the music.
Can I make a request? We played at PAC FM during the last break, and
look at this guy.
People were probably wondering who this substantial cat is that I was talking about. So
all right,
we'll start off.
No, we're not. Can we listen to him?
No, listen. Y'all are hating right
we're
now.
Gonna get
but
into
once
it.
you hear him, you'll
but
start
yeah,
feeling
we're gonna get into it.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
We're gonna get into it. It's UpTown Radio. You know what it is.
Yeah.
WMC2, UpTown Radio.
Oh, you taking a shot?